This whole conversation is discussing self-tape auditions that you shoot at home in your own studio or at our studio, not going into a casting director workshop or to a casting director's place for an in-person audition. Generally bringing props, unless it was something very minor, is generally a no-no. It's just kind of too much. It gets too complicated, and it's just things that can go wrong. And I think also if you're going to use a prop, I think you should use it specifically. And when I'm using stuff, I try to think rather than the cliche generic way to hold it or use it, I might try and find some special way. Now, again, it all has to serve the text and serve the story and serve the scene, of course. Don't just do random shit just to be random. Although I'm certainly guilty of doing random things just to be random and just to be out there.
We all are.
But I also like to be creative. I like to have fun. I like to create little stories, and I see every audition as an opportunity to be creative and to show them my little piece of the story. So I got a bunch here, and most of these are just the common ones that I've either used in my own auditions or ones that we've helped people here at Laughing Vikings. So I'm going to go through my list. Brandon, we're going to do this kind of Family Feud style. Survey says, and then you tell me if you also had it on your list, and then we'll have a chat about each one. Then we'll move on. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, here we go. First up on the top 10 prop essentials here. I'm coming at you hard. I don't like these in real life, but everyone loves them in movie and film. That is the gun. Yep. Ding, 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 ding. I'm going to say number one answer, gun. Was gun on your list?
Gun is on my list. It is not number one, though.
It's not number one, and really none of these are none of my lists.
They're not really in order. No.
Yeah, these aren't ranked in order of importance. These are just kind of the first 10 that we could think of. Now, a couple things about guns. Yes. Again, I would never bring a gun to an in-person thing. I would never travel with a gun if I ever had to travel with a gun. And when I say gun, I'm talking prop guns. I'm not even talking real guns. We have one here at the studio. This actually isn't even mine. This is on loan from Big Time Murder. Shout out to Peter Dillon. We do a lot of murder mysteries. This is just a cap, like a starter pistol here, but it looks like a pretty decent revolver, right? So, and I think that's, if there's a scene where there's a gun in it, I mean, you can just hold your blank hand. You can hold it out of frame. Like you can just do this.
Also hold your phone as well.
Yeah, you can do no gun. Yeah, phone. But even that, it's like, yeah, actually that looks pretty decent. That's kind of futuristic.
Yeah.
Nothing looks better than this. Nothing looks better than right.
And we never point it at somebody. Always point it away from the other person. You don't want to be pointing directly at your reader or anyone else that you're working with.
Correct.
I also have a couple more things I want to talk about this as well. If you are buying it from the dollar store, make sure to keep the packaging. Please keep the packaging so that if you are shooting outside or if someone sees you with it, you have proof that it is a toy gun. I've been in a situation where people thought it was a real gun and the police were called. It was not a pleasant situation.
Right.
Also, before we move on from guns, there is one other thing I want to talk about. Do not bring it out to surprise your audience.
Right.
I know this is something that you want to be surprising as an actor. You do not want to use a gun to surprise somebody else. You do not know if that is a trigger for somebody else. It is a weapon. It is not a toy.
Good point. Yes. And I would suggest don't, like, if you're shooting at home in your own space and you happen to have a prop gun, great. Yeah, use it. Don't travel with them. There's not really any need. It's not worth the risk. We're in a day and age where people are getting shot and or tased and or shot and killed, really, for things that aren't even close to guns. So
always make sure you keep the package.
Yeah, never take that risk. And really, even if they are prop guns, there's, like, on a proper set, there's a gun wrangler who is trained and licensed to do that. Your point about never, even if it is a prop gun, never point it, never cross an axis of another human being, and just treat it with the respect that you should. But also, it's super cool. And you think about how many scenes in television and movies we are kind of obsessed with guns. in TV and film. So they're kind of cool, but again, not necessarily necessary. You can have one if you want, but you can also just have the moment and have the authority and have the move. Even if I'm standing here, I can just if it's a cop scene and it's like he reaches for his gun, that sells it. I reach for my gun, and then it's good. So again, all of these are, you can use them. You can. Again, I would never ever bring this anywhere. And please don't show up to Laughing Vikings with your own fake gun. Know that we have one now if you really wanted to use one. But don't travel with it. It's silly. It's not worth the risk.
Yes.
All right, guns. Anything else?
No, that's it for me on guns.
I have another. I'll show one other thing that we have used. Is I've used a mic stand before where it was like a sniper. It was literally a sniper scene, and it was like the whole scene was him turning dials and just like messing with things, taking it, sighting it. So like this kind of sells as a rifle, and it sells as something. Again, a lot of times you don't need it, but if the whole scene is about that specific prop, then yeah, it kind of sells the realism of things. So number 2 on the list is this is a little more simple. Money, just plain old money. There's a lot of scenes in TV and film, cash register, convenience store. So you can use real money. This happens to be fake stage money. These are all US $100 bills, presumably, but if you look close, they say things like, what does it say here? In goo we trust. This one says, this note is legal tender, but then on the other side, it says in goo we trust. And one of them says right on it, prop money. This one says prop money, literally right on it.
Nice.
All right. Nice. So prop money. Funny story about this prop money. A few years ago, my brother sent this to me on my birthday. I thought it was $300. I didn't look close at it. And even in the card, he was like, P.S. if you need more, feel free to photocopy these. And I didn't even think twice about it. And then I just kind of put them away in a drawer or something. And then like a month later, I was going to walk down to the bank to deposit them. And I literally got halfway to the bank and I pulled them out and I was like, wait a second, this is fucking prop money. So you can grab some prop money. Was money on your list?
Money was not on my list.
Money was not on your list. What's next? Oh, this is a good one. This is one of my favorites. Number 3 on the top 10 prop list survey says clipboard.
Yes.
Clipboard. So many times the doctor, the nurse, the scientist, the teacher, and it serves as a double purpose. If you've got a really big one and you haven't had time to fully get off book, if you got to do a read, you can literally have your script here and you can be like, let me see here. He seems to have, oh, there's my line. Yes, he is going to die.
That's a dark chart.
Yes, here it is. 1 week to live. Yes. But obviously, if you're reading something, you want to make sure like your first and last lines, any important lines, you got to have those off the page. But clipboard comes in handy, and it's just a real natural prop. Was clipboard on your list?
Yes, it is. It's number 1.
Nice. Ding, 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 ding. All right, number 4 on the list is glasses.
Glasses. Yes.
Now, this is just random. A lot of times, think about how many scenes are restaurant scenes. You're at a cafe, you're at a coffee shop. So maybe you have a coffee mug. But again, I think with all props, be specific. If it's something like this, if it's a celebration, I think about Hallmark movies. We have a ton of auditions here at the studio for Hallmark movies. They're often at a wedding, they're at a celebration, they're at a Christmas celebration. A character is raising a toast, or if it's a bunch of dudes drinking beer, I would just say be specific to whatever it is that you're using. Also, a little bit of a caveat. I got burned on this on the weekend. Is I didn't fully prep ahead of time for my scene in class. And so the morning of, I went out and had to get a wine bottle, but it wasn't a wine bottle. It ended up being like, what do you call it? Pellegrino or something like that, sparkling water. But the bottle was green. So on my green screen, it blended in. So again, be very careful about even glassware. If you're on a green screen, that's actually pretty decent. But sometimes different glassware can react funky. And again, you don't want any of your props distracting or taking away. And if all of a sudden you have a glass that's disappearing and melding into the background and looks like you have this invisible glass, is going to take the people out of your audition. Well, my number 4.5 is glasses. So not only do we mean glasses, but we mean glasses. Now, very rarely do we use these, but certain times, if it's a certain character-y thing, I've got a handful. Everyone loves I find when you don't wear glasses, everyone loves to wear it. Like, look at me, all of a sudden, right? What a nerdy captain I am.
You look so much smarter right now.
And or I got these cool ones. These are like Will Ferrell cool women's shades, or like cool Italian Euro shades. And what else do I got? These ones maybe a little more. I'm a doctor, or I'm a lawyer, or I'm a fine gentleman.
So, sir, can you push those back to your eyes again? Sorry.
Oh, wait, 1 second. 1 second. Hang on, like this. And seems to me that
just stop right there, Lars. So you see how there's glare, and you can see what's behind Lars. You can see reflections in those eyeglasses. It is very handy to keep the 3D glasses that you get at like the movie theater, punch out the holes. I believe Lars put that on the first time. Yep.
That's literally what these are.
Yeah. And like push out the lenses so that way we don't see what's behind the camera. We don't want to see the lights. We want to have the suspension of disbelief when we're viewing your audition tape.
Right. And a couple other things about glasses is you would probably certainly sunglasses, if you had them on, you would take them off immediately. Like I might start a scene where if I'm like this and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, dude? And even regular glasses, I think, especially if there's any kind of glare. The other danger with glasses is sometimes where they are. Watch when I dip my head. All of a sudden here, you can't see my eyes. They're right in the middle of my eyes. So most times you're not, if you need to have them or the character calls for them, you can have them on. A lot of times too, it's a good idea to slate. If you do actually wear glasses in your real life, slate with them on and then take them off. So this is me with glasses without. But again, be sparing. These are my weird ones. These are like my weird, creepy industrial. But also, that your mention on reflections. See, now in these, you can see the whole studio in my eyes. So that's a little distracting for the auditors. But if I was just starting a scene where I'm on the beach here, that's just like, oh, there you are, Brandon. What's up,
Lars?
That's fair game. But again, the overall lesson is use these things sparingly, and it's only when it's to add a little icing on the cake, little spice. Shouldn't be distracting. Shouldn't take away from things.